your results aren't yours to keep. Like, you have to keep earning them. And that's one of the things where, you know, we talk about, one of our principles is year-round progressive training. So if you're not doing something year-round, like, you don't have to be a maniac, but training year-round is what allows you to keep and keep building the fitness that you need for hunting.
I was like, well, if I throw a mic on, then I can help others the way that these people have all helped me.
Born in the heart of the Pennsylvania deer camp, with the help of experts, friends, and local legends, we bring you valuable knowledge and powerful stories for your hunting adventures. Welcome to the East Meets West Hunt Podcast with your host, Beau Martonik.
All right, so welcome back to another episode of the East Meets West Hunt Podcast. This one's a little bit different. What do you think, Todd?
It's pretty cool. I like what we're doing, man.
So what we're going to do here is I'm with Todd Bumgardner, Pack Mule Training Co., formerly Human Predator Pack Mule, and he came to visit me here, and it's kind of a winter wonderland.
Not kind of. It really pretty much is.
Yeah. So we're going to go out and we're going to do a podcast talking about training while we're training, hiking in the snow. I've got some weight on my pack here because I'm a little bit tougher.
Quite a bit tougher. You set me up for failure, actually. You didn't say that you were going to be rucking, so I showed up without anything.
But yeah, so we're gonna take you along with it and just kind of talk as we go, and hope that this turns out all right. You know, Todd, it's funny. We've done a bunch of podcasts here before, and when we do, we're gonna do another one where we're sitting in my house.
Nice cozy house. A
little bit more formal one, so we're not going to like go into your backstory here or anything, but you've been, training me for, this will be year 5 or 6.
6, I think. Yeah.
6. And at the beginning of every kind of training cycle, you have me doing some tests, or everybody doing tests, and to see where we're at. And it was funny, last week I had done someone it had to do with, how would you explain the one where we talked about I needed to work on zone 1 and 2?
Yeah, so the first thing we did this year is we got a better look at what everybody's aerobic threshold is. So that's the top of your zone 2. Once you get above zone 2, you start to get more contribution from your anaerobic system. So easiest way to say that is you start burning carbs more. And as people, and definitely as hunters, whether we're doing like mobile whitetail stuff where you want to push back in and get away from guys, you're going out west and you want to hike up big mountains, you want as much energy contribution as possible from your aerobic system. And so we want to find out where the top end of your zone 2 is, so we can train that as much as possible. So we want to keep you about under that heart rate. So what we did is we just did an aerobic threshold test to find out accurately where the top of your zone 2 is. And then from there, we did what's called a cardiac drift test. And what that does is confirm it, was that accurate from the aerobic threshold test? But also it shows you the state of your aerobic fitness. So what we want to see when we do that is, we get you going. The whole test takes about 75 minutes, and you break it into 2:30. You do 15-minute warm-up, break it into 2 30-minute sections, and then you look at the difference in heart rate between the first 30 minutes and the second 30 minutes while maintaining the same pace. And what we want to see is a drift rate, typically somewhere between 3 and 5%. Closer to 3% means you're probably in better aerobic condition. If you're under 3, you probably didn't push hard enough, or your aerobic threshold is probably higher. If you're above 5, either your aerobic threshold was wrong, you set it too high, or you need to work on your aerobic system a lot. And so we did both those tests to get a really accurate appraisal of where your zone 2 is, where the top of your zone 2 is, and then also the state of everyone's aerobic conditioning. And then what that allows us to do is give better prescriptions of like, hey, you know, this is the intensity you should be training at, and this is the amount of training you're going to need to be able to move the needle, and or this is how much that you can actually handle and not put yourself into the shitter.
Yeah, and that it's funny when I first started training with you, it was kind of an eye opener, and like I was laughing when I did that test, and I got your response of like, hey, you know, we need to work a little bit more on zone 1 and 2 to, you know, build that up a little bit for you over the next few months before getting back into some more high intensity type stuff.
Yep.
I thought I did pretty good, you know. I was like, well, before I got the results, I was like, man, I felt pretty good. Like, I was at a light jog, you know, staying in zone 2, or being able to breathe out my nose and not do that. But
well, it's not so much that you were doing bad. It's just like where you're at right now. And the thing about, you know, you, especially with training with us for so long, is you have a really good base built. So things for you are going to come back really fast.
Yeah.
So it's just really making sure that you're getting as much out of your aerobic system as you possibly can. Because as you start drifting up in heart rate, you start getting to zone 3. Like, we do zone 3 training, we train all that stuff. But as you start drifting up, you fatigue faster, and it just, everything starts to cost more. So for example, like if you're going on a long uphill, you want your aerobic system to carry you as much up the hill as possible, because your aerobic system runs mostly on fat. Mm-hmm. And you have way more fat to burn in your body. You have way more fat stores, and you just don't fatigue that system as fast, and it doesn't cost your muscles as much. So it's just way easier to recover from that work, and even to just sustain your pace and everything if your aerobic system is doing most of the work.
Yeah, no, it makes a whole lot of sense. And the thing, I have this love-hate with zone 1 and 2 type stuff, and it makes me want to, like, if I want to skip something, it's like, oh, I could just, go away from that.
Sure.
But I've come to understand the importance of building that, and it's just, you know, building those foundations that you've talked about on the podcast over time.
Yeah.
And building that conditioning house.
Well, it's good. I mean, that's when people tell me that, like, they don't like zone 1 or zone 2 because it's boring. I'm just like, well, good. I mean, for a couple reasons. Like, it's a really good chance for you to focus in on mental skills. Like, the way that we work on mental skills, I don't think so much about mental toughness. I think more about psychological flexibility. And that's the ability to do what you need to do, stay aware, and act based on what's required of you in the moment, rather than just being tough. And so, for example, let's say that you're hiking in somewhere, and it's a hard hike. We'll just say it's a hard hike, and you got your head down. You're like, I got to get up this mountain, and your whole thing is about just being tough. And if that's the whole thing, you put your head down, you just go, and then maybe you get to the top of the mountain, and you're like, well, shit, this was the wrong damn mountain. Yeah. And so the ability to take stock of where you're at, work on your mindfulness, be present, is a really big part of training your mind to, well, just in general, but also, when you're hunting and to be a good hunter. And so zone 2 training, zone 1 training gives you a really good opportunity to do that, because you can always come back to, like, focus on the things that are in the present. Like, you can focus on your breath, you can focus on the way your feet are hitting the ground, you can focus on the things around you and work on how you're talking to yourself. And so if someone tells me it's boring, I'm like, well, good. It gives you a chance to do some of these other things. And in the same token, though, like, you don't have to just do boring stuff for your zone 1 and zone 2. Like, right now we're out hiking. We're probably at the bottom of our zone 1 right now because we're not doing anything all that hard. But it still is, you don't have to just do a bunch of drudgery, although that can be important too.
Yeah, it's and we'll get some terrain involved on the hike here as we move through it. But me personally, what I've found to get past like you said, it's good to be bored. It's to have that boring aspect of it. But where I find that helps me is getting out and doing things that help me in a variety of ways.
For
like
sure.
thinking of, let me make sure if we're turning on this trail or not. But let's see.
Don't lead us astray, Beau.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, if anything, we'll just walk in a circle. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's fine either way. This is more difficult on the
Oh, there we go.
trail sign.
Take the tough part.
But getting out and doing things like this. So here, I look at this as like, for me personally, I get multiple things out of this. I'm killing more birds with one stone.
Sure.
From the standpoint of, if I'm in an area where maybe I'm going to go out and need to pull some trail cameras this time of year, go do that while I'm doing that. Or one of the other things is like, I love testing my clothing system. So
Perfect.
like right now I've got just a lightweight merino base on, and then I've got the Sitka Mountain Evo jacket, which now it's been replaced with the Jetstream Light, but similar concept of a light windstopper jacket. And then I have the Ambient 200, which is like an active mid layer over top. And I've always done it where the windstopper is on top, but talking to John Barklow, he's like, actually you can get more out of your activity level when you're pushing. So you get to use that windstopper better to breathe better when it's closer to your skin.
Yeah.
But you're still getting the benefits of cutting the wind some good tracks.
Yeah. Those rabbits.
Yeah. So you're able to do, those things with it. And so I get out, and this is the time, instead of me being on a hunt when I really need to stay warm, or I don't want to like just sweat like crazy in it, I can test it out while I'm doing these trainings.
You get to test, and that's the thing about, you get to feel different things out, and you get to gauge like how you feel right now. Let's say, it's January.
Yeah. How
How does this feel in January? And then as the year progresses and on different, types of terrain, you can test it out that way and say, from not necessarily from a clothing standpoint, from a physical standpoint, it's like, what's the difference? And one of the best ways to pay attention, if you're not testing, is like, say that you are doing hikes and you're trying to focus on staying in zone 1 and zone 2. For most people, it's going to be zone 2, but is your output at different heart rates, at the same heart rate, I should say.
Yes.
So let's just say that like you arbitrarily, we'll say you're the top of your zone 2 is 140 beats per minute. And you look at it and you say, well, on this terrain last time, it took me, we'll say 30 minutes to get up that hill. And then as you accrue volume and you do more, and then holy shit, it only took me 27 minutes and my heart rate stayed the same. And then it's 25. And getting out on terrain, you all right?
Yeah.
Getting out on terrain and doing all that stuff.
Not rolling your ankles.
It gives you a chance to test out how you're moving on different grades. For example, it's like we don't have the big long slopes necessarily in the east that they might have out west, but we have some gnarly grades.
Yeah.
And so you can get on those grades and really get a good scope of, how does this much pack weight affect me? How does going up this much of a grade affect me? So you have a good idea of what that's like and how to actually even use your pacing. Because I think there's a couple mistakes that got, well, there's more than a couple, but two of the common mistakes that hunters make when they're hiking in is, one, they go too damn fast and they just fatigue themselves out because they don't have a good scope of how fast they should move. Also, you're excited, you want to go hunt and everything like that. And another thing is, just having some carbs and ingesting something so you have more stores on the way in. So like even like drinking 90 grams of carbs or something on your way in can really set you up for success for the next few days, because you don't burn through everything. Because as much as we want mostly aerobic contribution, there's going to be times that you're going to start burning carbs, and just doing little things like that to test out how you're moving, where your conditioning is at, is really big to set yourself up for success as you get closer to hunting season.
Yeah, that's that all makes sense. And I think, like, that we were just saying about the carb intake there. So when you're saying, are you doing that through food, or are you doing that through supplementation?
You can drink it, you can eat it. Okay. I mean, some people, like, you could literally just buy cyclic dextrin or maltodextrin, or if there's a good carb supplement, and just like drink it on the way in. I mean, honestly, a lot of times, like if I'm doing long stuff and we have some of our longer workouts, I'll eat, I like the Welch's fruit snacks. I'll eat those sons of bitches, and I shoot for like, and this is something you have to figure out your tolerance. I know we're going a little off the rails here, but
no, it's good.
You have to figure out your tolerance for your stomach. So like, if you, let's say you're doing like a 2-hour long aerobic workout, and getting in like 60 grams of carbs per hour, if your stomach can tolerate that, it helps your recovery a ton. And so kind of playing with those kind of things too is like almost like ultra racers and stuff do, and finding out your systems that allow you to fuel yourself, keep yourself going, and then consider that based on, if you're doing a backpack hunt, like what's your pack weight like? What can you actually carry? If you're shooting for, I don't know, 3,000 calories a day or something like that based on your hunt. You can, like you're saying, you can make a lot of different circles touch as you do this stuff. You know, it doesn't have to just be getting on the stair climber for an hour,
Yeah.
Now, if you live in fucking Missouri, you might not have a choice, but
yeah. No, and I think there's always, no matter where you're at, you can find ways to utilize it. It's funny. I've been splitting some of my time where I've been living at and everything in different locations, and where I currently live and have lived for a while. I've got the access to a lot of woods. I've got some terrain I can access. I've got things that help in that realm, but like in the gym, my gyms they don't have all like the best equipment and everything. But the other place I'm spending time at, I've got a really good gym and less terrain. So like you have to
find a balance.
There's a balance. Not everybody has
one of the things though that's really nice about that, and I was just talking with a backcountry ready member about this the other day, coaching him up a little bit, is sometimes in the early going, like this time of year, you want to do things that actually make it easier to keep your heart rate steady instead of spiking it up and down and like finding an average in zone 2, we'll say. So like incline treadmill work and stair climber work is really good this time of year, because you can find a pace that just keeps you locked in at the perfect heart rate, and you can just sustain it there. So as much as it's like, get out, get on the train, get specific, it's really good sometimes to just do the things that allow you to just develop your conditioning at the right place at the right time too.
Yeah, that I can understand that. I don't know, like just overall, it's just my mindset has changed so much over these last 6 years of just the consistency standpoint is just so important to get out and do these things and just moving. Like when, and I think a lot of it, like when we were talking about my test and you talking about me needing to accrue some more zone 1 and 2 work, it was like, I look back on it, I was like, well, obviously that makes sense. I hadn't been on a hunt in a month. Sure. And I've been just doing stuff around the office and not intentionally moving nearly enough. Yep. It's like, and from working, with you and just overall just being active for a long time, it doesn't take me a ridiculous amount of time to bring that back. No. Now, if I were to go months without it, it'd be a lot harder to build back.
Yeah. I mean, once you have the base laid, it's easier to bring it back. But you start to significantly lose aerobic adaptations after a month. And my business partner in my gym came up with a really good saying for this, and it's like, your results aren't yours to keep. Like, you have to keep earning them. And that's one of the things where, we talk about, one of our principles is year-round progressive training. So if you're not doing something year-round, like you don't have to be a maniac, but training year-round is what allows you to keep building the fitness that you need for hunting. But also, like, if you really look at it, I think you and I have lifestyles that are probably even a little bit different than a lot of the people that might be listening to this or watching it, because we get to hunt a lot more than the average person.
Yeah.
Just because of the way we've set up our lives. So if you look at most people, you're looking at like, you know, maybe you have there's a split in trail.
We're gonna go straight.
Looks like that's the right call.
Yeah, I think the map of the trail, they've changed it in the last couple of years, so it changes it up.
But yeah, so you look at the rest of your life, and it's like, let's say, we'll say on the outside, somebody gets a month of solid hunting per year between trips or whatever it might be. It's like, well, that's only 1/12 of your life. You know, the rest of your life, like you need to feel good. You need to be active in the other things that you need to do. You need to maintain your health. And, you know, even from just like not thinking short term is one of the biggest things, right? Because all of the investments that you make in this now with going and doing your aerobic training or keeping up with your strength or keeping up with your mobility, that's what's going to keep you doing this when you're 80. You know, so I think one of the issues is, especially with zone 1 and zone 2 and things like that, is like you're making an investment for your future self, not just, you have to get past some of the like, well, I don't like this right now. And it's like, well, I don't care. You need to do it, you know? So, I mean, not everybody wants to go to work every day either, but it's one of those things you got to do, you know?
Yeah, that's a great way of being able to put it. And honestly, like if I could strength train every day,
of course,
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
know you're the same way.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's because I'm good at it. You know? Like you want to do the things that you're good at. I mean, it is to be completely honest. I'm not naturally good aerobically. It has taken me a ton of work over years to get to the point that I'm at. Like now, like there's not really a mountain in the world that I don't think I could be ready for, but it's taken me a long time to get there.
Yeah, I've noticed, even since we first started training, you were carrying more muscle and more muscle mass than you are now. Yeah,
I lost about 20 pounds.
What are you weighing at now?
190.
Okay.
When I first started going Western hunting, I was like 210. And that was, I mean, back in the 20 teens or something, but, and now it's like, I just saw how much it didn't serve me, you know, and I was on a run this one time and I just started getting frustrated about how high my heart rate was, like how much I had to work to keep my heart rate down. And then, you know, it just kind of clicked like, dude, this is happening because you're just way bigger than you need to be.
Yeah.
And it's time to, you know, cut the ego and drop some weight and be at a body weight that actually serves your life, you know? And I mean, truth be told, like I could lose more weight and it would probably be better for me, but you also have to think about the other aspects of the things that you want. Like I said, I'm about 190 pounds. This is the weight that I was like my senior year of high school.
Yep.
And it serves me well because I like how I look. I'm strong still. I still have really good endurance for this size. And you have to look at those tucks, where all those circles touch, like, and realize that with some things, you're going to be making trades. Now, if I decided I want to get down to 180 pounds, my endurance would improve. But I don't know that I'd like how I look at 180 pounds, so I'm staying at 190 for now.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I found the weight for me personally, I'm 5'10", and for me, like when I perform the best on a hunt, between 180 and 185. Yeah. I'm weighing in about 195 right now. Personally, I like being in the 185 to 190 category. It's just because it gives me balance, but I do know that a little lighter, I'd probably be a little more efficient.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I like having strength that's involved to it too. And I don't want to look real skinny either.
Yeah, you can like as you drop 5 pounds, you can watch your efficiency improve. Like you can just go and do the same thing and just watch how much lower your heart rate is. Like say you go do some kind of like a zone 2 run or something and you knock 5 pounds off and you're like, holy shit, I'm fast, you know? And it's just, it really helps. It really does. And that's one of the things that like, I think we're all kind of trained as dudes, like psychologically. We want to be big, we want to be muscular, and like there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to ask, with what I like to do most, does carrying this extra 20 pounds of muscle really serve me in the way that I need it to serve me, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's up to you. That's an individual decision, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's there's definitely that balance in goals you have and what you're willing to give up and what you want to be able to have. And like, I know even like my brother is a good example of someone that's like lighter weight than I am. And he'll run me into the ground if he wants to, when it comes to it. But I just like being a little bit stronger, not a bitch ass like him, you know?
Yeah, I get it,
Just kidding, Kurt.
I mean, like my business partner in my gym, he bounces between 160 and 165 pounds. He's very strong for that size. And he also has good endurance. And, you know, that like whole combination of having really high relative strength and also doing the aerobic work, like, it makes you a monster. It really does. But, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just one of those things that everybody has to sort out for themselves what they want. But
we're actually going to walk right past one of my cameras here.
Oh,
it's just off the trail, so we'll grab it when we're up here.
Awesome. Yeah. The other day, I thought of a kind of a good way to illustrate the importance of zone 1 and zone 2 training, and like thinking of a highway, right?
Yeah.
And so zone 1 and zone 2 paves the highway.
Yep.
It allows you to go faster without, and think of your body as a truck. And so if you're on a smooth highway, you got a good truck with a good engine in it.
Yeah.
Running down a smooth highway allows you to go faster without beating your truck up.
Yep.
You don't pave the road, you're driving on a gravel road, you can't go as fast for as long, and you beat the hell out of your truck if you try to go as fast and for as long. And so really what you're doing when you do this work is you're paving the highway for your truck. And it's really important work to do, you know, for your performance and for your longevity. So that was my little...
No, that's a really good analogy on the truck side of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you think about, like, when you get in really, really, really good aerobic shape, like the best endurance athletes in the world, most of their training is done in zone 1. Yeah. Because zone 2 actually becomes moderate intensity for them. And so if they do too much zone 2 work, they actually beat their muscles up a little bit because it's just like too much intensity for them.
Yeah.
So they have to like start to split the intensity more. But most people obviously aren't top level endurance athletes. So they need to be in zone 2 to really do that paving work, you know?
Yeah. All right, hold on. We're gonna make a quick detour here.
Detour for a camera.
I see it. That's funny. It's right off the trail.
Do you have to pull a card, or is it?
I'm just pulling the whole camera.
Oh, you're gonna pull a card?
Yeah, it didn't do any good. I knew it was gonna be a nighttime spot because it was right off this hiking trail. Yeah. But there's a good scrape here, and I just figured I'd use it for inventory. And I hiked this
What's
trail.
on the other side of that drop?
Well, it goes down in, there's some mountain laurel. It goes down and there's a creek down there in the bottom. It gets thicker down on the side hill, so it's a little bit better for the deer to be bedding. They're just not spending time in these big open woods like this in the daytime.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work out as good as I had hoped. You know, Mr. Organized Beau here didn't have the right key, or it was just the lock was frozen.
I was actually going to say that. I was like, Mr. Systems didn't have the right key.
Yeah. No, did not. And so as Todd said when we weren't off camera, he's like, yeah, just let the camera soak a little more without collecting any data because the batteries are dead. So I guess that'll be a reason I just have to come back.
Oh, man.
It's fun, though.
But it happens.
Sun's poking out a little bit.
It is. It's nice. It's cold as shit. It's a
It
nice
is.
day, though. But
16 degrees.
something like that, yeah.
Wind and windy.
You feel it on your hands as soon as you take your gloves
It's
off.
actually negative 30.
Is it? Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, that's all we do.
Yeah. I actually just have a t-shirt on under this coat. You know, just rugged. Just rugged.
Prove how tough you are. How tough your nipples are to cut through the shirt.
Dude, I have very small nipples, Beau. Like maybe the smallest. But I was thinking about the like the volume stuff I was talking about. And another thing, you know, you were talking about consistency before. And one of the things about doing more low intensity to moderate intensity work is you can just handle way more training volume and you can be way more consistent with it. And so in the short term, it's good, but also in the long term, it's just like you can just accrue so much more work over time, and it just benefits you so much more to be able to do that. Whereas like if you're crushing yourself with high intensity all the time, your body just can't keep up with it. You're not going to adapt to it. And plus, like the adaptations that you get from high intensity work, it doesn't take that much work to get it, and then those adaptations don't last very long.
I was just gonna say that. Don't you lose it pretty quickly?
They don't last very long. And then that's one of the reasons that people say, you know, they'll go out and maybe they'll do a bunch of high intensity conditioning or do a program that has a bunch of high intensity work in it. And they like get these very quick, like, man, I feel fitter. And then all of a sudden they start plateauing or going backwards. It's because they didn't have the foundation of the highway that I was talking about, or like, you know, the actual mechanical aspects of your aerobic system built. And so you just start backsliding because those adaptations don't last very long. They're metabolic, not as much structural. Whereas when you do the zone 1 and zone 2 work, yeah, you get metabolic adaptations from that, but there's a lot of structural adaptations. Like it changes your blood vessels. It increases how much blood your heart pumps out with each beat. And these kind of structural adaptations are important before you try to achieve the metabolic adaptations. That's part of the highway thing. And they also just last way longer. So like maybe you do like 6 sessions of high intensity work, you can get everything that you need from that. And then those adaptations are literally gone within weeks. But the like I said earlier, you know, if you have a good base of aerobic stuff, you can cut your volume way back, or you can not train for a month, and most of those adaptations will still be there. You gotta do some work to get all of them back, but like they don't leave you as soon. And that's one of the other things that's just so important. Like if you want to train consistently and get as much as you can out of your training, you have to do more lower intensity conditioning, because it's just going to carry you so much more farther.
Yeah.
More farther. There's some
More
Pennsylvania.
further.
It'll take you more further, bud.
More further down there.
Where are you from?
You can go more further down the mountain.
Yins guys go up there. Dude, it surprised me. Like I haven't consistently lived in Pennsylvania for a long time, and it'll just come out with random words sometimes. Like, fuck, I am from Pennsylvania, aren't I?
Oh yeah. That's it. My cousin, he lives out in Montana now, but he was just in town, and he was talking about, he's like, everyone makes fun of him out there saying he has an accent. And he's like,
I don't have an accent.
What are you talking
you
about?
do.
Yeah. And Pennsylvania is so segmented too of their
sure.
accents, which I'm sure other states are like that too.
Oh,
but
for sure.
I definitely.
Eastern Pennsylvania, they don't sound anything like us.
No.
Nothing like us.
The central and northern PA kind of have the Canadian buds
Yeah,
to it.
a little bit to it.
And then Pittsburgh is this whole,
Yinzer.
the Yinzers.
Way more, yeah. It's hilarious. Did you ever watch back in the day, there was this YouTube little segment thing called Donnie and Greg? And they're
No.
from Johnstown. Donnie. It's so good. It's like old now.
Yeah.
Like 15 years old.
My grandfather on my dad's side, he's 90, 91 now. He hasn't lived in Pittsburgh in 60 some years. He still got it. Hardcore.
Fantastic. That's exactly, dude, let me tell you something. When I hear somebody still has at least some of their accent from where they grew up,
Yeah.
it makes me trust them more. You know what I mean? Like when someone has like complete, clean, non-regional diction, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you trying to sell me, man? You know?
Yeah.
Who are you trying to be?
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? The one thing that Tyler was talking about out in Montana, they're like, what'd you say? He's like, Jeet yet.
Jeet yet.
Jeet yet. He's like, why do you need to sit there and sound out everything, take up more of people's time when you're just trying to get the point across?
Just get it out fast.
Jeet yet.
Jeet yet, bud. That's good, man.
Cracks me up.
That's good. Yeah. It's a wonderful place.
Hey, we're from, the best state out there.
Best state in the union. Best part of the best state in the union.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we got some, Pennsylvania is a big part of listenership, but
Yeah.
better not offend anybody else. But you lived in Virginia for a while too. Virginia's an
I
awesome
lived in
state.
Virginia for 8 years. There's
Yeah.
a lot of great things about Virginia.
Honestly, I think if I had to pick another state to move to, it'd probably be Virginia.
Really?
I like Virginia a
Where
lot.
at?
Towards the mountain somewhere.
Yeah.
I like was it Waynesboro maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's nice out that way.
area.
Dude, down like the Grayson Highlands, it's gorgeous.
Oh, down that, yes, down.
Yeah.
On, that would be another.
Like down towards where the elk are.
Yeah, down that way towards the North
Going
Carolina,
towards Tennessee
border.
Yeah. That whole area is awesome.
Beautiful, big mountains.
Yeah, much bigger than even where I grew up.
Oh yeah, it's just they have so many more levels to it.
They just seem older,
Yeah.
They seem older. It's interesting. Well, I guess that doesn't make sense because then they'd be smaller.
They'd be smaller.
But
yeah.
it just feels older, I guess.
I wasn't gonna correct you.
Yeah, but I did. It's all right. I mean, there's a lot of public ground to hunt where I grew up.
Yeah.
And so, and just having permission on private land and stuff too. It's just never really, honestly, like, it's just been. It wasn't until I started going out west that even thinking about, maybe driving somewhere else in Pennsylvania or driving somewhere else in Virginia to hunt really like started to strike me as something to do. But,
Something of interest.
yeah, but.
No, and it's the whole state is. I've been lucky to hunt a lot of the different regions and be there. And it's like,
Have you hunted down where I grew up?
yeah, a little.
Like Mifflin, Center County?
I haven't hunted there, but I've spent time in the woods there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But they all have their own little differences. There's parts of Pennsylvania have the big long ridges,
Yep.
and a lot of it.
That's where
There's some that have more fingers, and there's some that have different types of hardwoods, and some more laurel, some more rhododendron.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's a cool state.
Yeah.
It doesn't get its due, I don't think.
No, it does not.
It does not. We have it's like everybody, like out west, you go out there and folks just kind of like, if you're not from where you're hunting, whether it's Montana or Wyoming, a lot of times they just assume you're from Pennsylvania because we travel so much to hunt.
Yeah.
So,
That's very true.
yeah.
But yeah, there's, honestly, the whole eastern part of the U.S., like other than like the extremely populated areas I don't like, but there's some beautiful country here.
Oh, dude, awesome. Yeah, have you been up to the Adirondacks?
No,
Dude,
I've
it
been
feels
talking
like-
about it. I need to do it.
a lot of places up there like actually feel like you're out west. It's weird. Like I remember we went up there to track deer. Man, it's probably been 4 years now. And I just remember driving around up there. I was like, man, it feels like there should be wolves and grizzlies here. Like,
Yeah.
it's an incredible place, man. Incredible place. So that, but I did like, we went to track deer and, I ended up like, cut some tracks, like followed them. And then I found a good spot, like looked like a transition area out of a swamp, and like looked like there was a bedding area back behind me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna Pennsylvania this shit. And I just stood on a knob there, sat on a knob there for like a few hours to see what went through, because I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna hunt how I know how, even if we're up here to track. But,
Yeah, it's hard to take that out of you.
It is. I mean, the tracking stuff's fun. I think I think I need to go with somebody that really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
To really learn it, you know what I mean? And we just go up and went up and fumbled through it ourselves, you know? So my buddy Christian, though, on that trip, this was like, one of the reasons so we went up there and our whole thing was we were going to do it, you know, traditional tracking style. Just, I had a peep sight thinger on my pump action 30-06. And we were going to go up and just do it like those guys did. And he had, you know, just open sights on his lever action. And he was walking through the woods and he felt something parallel him. And he kind of stopped behind a tree and looked over. And it was the biggest buck he'd ever seen in his life. And so he was bringing up his binoculars to get a better look. And by the time he brought his binoculars back down, the buck was gone. He had a scope on his gun. He could have just brought his gun up and looked and maybe got a shot. And I was like, man, this open sight shit's for the birds. So we got back to the cabin that night and I ordered a sight for that rifle. I ordered a scope for that rifle.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually. I got this cool rifle this year. I didn't get a chance to use it deer hunting, but it's a scout rifle.
Yeah, those are, dude, that's on my list.
So CVA makes one and I got it.
I just was looking at that yesterday. No shit.
Yeah, I'll show you at my house when we get back, but I haven't put anything on it. I might put a red dot on it.
That'd be cool.
But I've had so much fun pointing open sights with it.
Oh, it's fun.
Dude, it's a blast.
Until you got to kill something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I just want to be effective. So
yeah, and I could put a normal scope on it, but I don't know. They just,
even just like a fixed 4 or something like that, you know?
Yeah. There's what I really wanted to put on it, and I may still, but it's a little bit overkill, but Maven has their, what is it? The RS6? Yeah, the RS6. It's what do they call those things where it's where you can have it at 1 power and then go up to 10?
Variable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Variable
LPVO.
Yeah.
LPVO, but it's I have one on an AR and it's freaking sick. It's just a little bit heavier than I want for
oh, sure, for a scout rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the point of the scout rifle for me is it's
moving light.
Yeah. And maybe I wouldn't notice it from where it balances, but I just like light, you know, quick to acquire shot. So that's why I was thinking maybe a red dot, something along those lines. We'll see.
Yeah, dude. I was like, that's one application where keeping the open sights is cool. Like the Ruger Scout rifle and a 308. Like that's one of the things that I've been thinking about getting just to have, you know. But I want to get this has nothing to do with hunting deer, but I want to get a nice 22 because I've never had a nice 22. So I'm thinking about getting one of those CV 457 Americans.
Yeah.
Because I like shooting squirrels.
Well, yeah, dude. So I just talked about it on a podcast when I was doing my goal thing because I've had issues with missing deer and stuff, shooting off hand, and I'm like, I don't practice enough with my rifle.
Shooting off hand's hard.
And it is, but like, it's not cost effective or it's not easy just to go somewhere to shoot a bunch of rounds all the time. So to be consistent, I did a podcast with Michael Shea on it years ago.
Oh yeah.
He wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
You know Michael.
Yeah. He wrote the Rimfire book.
Yeah. And I was like, I need to get a good 22. And it was just so happened the exact model of my rifle, my main deer hunting rifle, CVA came out with it in a 22 like yesterday.
Oh, perfect. That allows you to practice
so
much.
everything's the exact same, which it doesn't need to be that way, but it helps.
Yeah.
To get familiar with it.
That's what a lot of the like competitive shooters and shit do. Like they build the same rifle, like same chassis, same scope, kind of same reticle, and then just like build it in a caliber that's way cheaper to shoot than the competition rifle. So
and they're so fun to shoot.
Yeah.
22s are a blast.
Oh, dude.
That's when you do like squirrel hunting and stuff again.
Dude, squirrel hunting's fun.
Yeah, just always trying to it's always in the time when I'm like, deer is the only thing I think about.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. But this, I mean, honestly, we do like this time of year when, I mean, I hunt waterfowl and stuff like that, but this time of year when there's not as much to do, obviously you need a nice day for them to be out, but like squirrel hunting this time of year,
Yeah.
is fun because it gives you something to do. You're in the woods, like you can, you know, use your glass, work on moving slow, practice a lot of shit, you know, so it's a good thing. Then one of the guy that, Benoit dude, that was like the famous tracker up in New England, that was one of his things is he, it wasn't squirrels, it was partridge, but he would go hunt partridge before deer season with his 22 and still hunt for them.
Yeah.
So he could practice moving slow in the woods. And his thing was, it should take you at least 30 minutes to go 200 yards. Like that's how slow you should be moving. So,
Well, and the same respect when we went up to Canada moose hunting, there's so many grouse there.
yeah.
And when that season opened,
Are they all ruffed grouse?
there's also, I'm not totally familiar with it, Kurt knows. There's
Gotcha.
ruffed and there's one other kind, a bigger one.
Like a spruce grouse or a
Maybe-
blue grouse or something?
I think maybe it's spruce.
I don't know.
Anyways, there's so many of them. So he had his 22 410 over and under.
Oh, sweet.
And he's like, I'd filled my moose tag and I was out scouting for them. And I was like, I'm gonna carry the gun. He's like, use the 22. I'm like, okay. So, man, that was hard.
Oh,
I was
dude.
trying to do headshots with the 22. I missed so many times. I flipped the button to 410. I said, screw it.
We're killing stuff.
Yeah, I'm cooking lunch
I
today.
need success.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And this grouse wanted to die. Like,
It's like sometimes they just know it's their time, man. You know?
Yeah.
Just walk into it. That's awesome.
he's like, come on. He's like, come on, man. You got this.
Dude, grouse is delicious too.
Oh, it's amazing.
When the second time I went to Alaska to hunt caribou, I bought a little Ruger Mark V 22 pistol and brought that with me because the first time I went up, I went to the same spot twice. There were a ton of ptarmigan, and the season came in like right around when caribou season came in. It's like, oh, we'll catch grayling, we'll shoot ptarmigan, we'll have camp meat. And it was like, dude, I almost felt bad. It felt like an execution. I was like walking up on these coveys of ptarmigan and just like plinking them with my 22 pistol. I mean, it was effective. It was kind of fun, but it was just like, man, I'm just like murdering these things.
Yeah.
But
22 pistols are. My great uncle gave me one last year.
yeah,
And it's a little Ruger.
yeah.
Dude, they're so. I can't remember the exact model. Anybody that knows guns knows. Like my brother's like, oh man, that's a sick 22 pistol. And it's so fun to shoot.
Oh yeah, they're really fun to shoot. Yeah, and it's just like mine, the Mark V that I bought, it comes with like a threaded barrel, so you can put a suppressor on it and all kinds of shit. So I think the next time I go, I guess I should probably check on the legality of this, but I thought about taking one the next time I go to hunt elk for archery and just having that with a suppressor on it for grouse. So, you know.
Yeah, I definitely got to look into it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I wouldn't break the law, but that was a thought I had. They're like, oh man, that could work. That could be cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've learned when you start traveling other places, man, I read that book.
you got to do some reading.
And some of it's like gray. I have to pick up the phone and call
Dude,
the game
for sure.
agencies. That's like, I can't, even a simple mistake, like I can't afford to have
No,
that happen.
and some of them aren't written very well. Like,
No, they're not. A lot of them
very
aren't.
opaque. Yeah.
Or like, I'll have some talk to officers that are like, they're like, God, we wouldn't bother you for that. I'm like, no, listen.
I'm not taking that chance,
No.
bud.
If you put that in writing, like, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Sir, that is not what the book says. So.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago when I was going elk hunting, I was taking my e-bikes and I couldn't figure out what I needed, if it was considered motorized in this area or not,
Yeah.
and if I need a permit and how all that worked. And no one could give me an answer. One be like, oh yeah, you'll be
Dude,
fine.
you got to be careful.
So
with
I
that
went and
shit.
just bought like a full-on ATV permit and put it on there to like.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, Did I need to spend the $50 or whatever it was for the permit? Probably not.
Yeah, but it's the peace of mind.
Yeah,
man, the peace
I
of
don't
mind.
have to worry about it.
I know of people that have gotten rung up for doing shit like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's smart to do.
And it's a lot of times it's not intentional, but you know, especially like,
It's very easy to be ignorant of the laws if you're not from there.
yeah. And if you're, especially if you have a platform, like,
they're gonna go after you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna try do whatever they can to come after you, and you know, it is my duty to make sure that I'm looking into those things.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I take
Yeah.
responsibility for that. But
You gotta be careful. And
Yeah.
it's like you know, you want to do things the right way. You know?
yep,
You want to do things the right way.
that's exactly right. We're wrapping back around this loop here. I think we might just
Caller.
hey, we'll call this episode. We're almost back to the truck now, but yeah, I mean, this is the first time we did anything like this. I'm hoping the audio turns out good, and maybe the video here too. But for any of you that are listening or watching, let me know if this is something you want to see more of, and doing this. I don't know. I thought it would be kind of a fun,
Yeah, I think it's
unique
great.
way to do it, because we can talk about the things that we're actually doing while we're doing it.
Yeah, I think it was a really good idea. I was, when you texted me the other day about this, I was pumped. So I hope it turns out really well from an audio and visual standpoint, because I really enjoyed doing it this way.
Yeah, and so the other episode that we're going to be recording here when we get back with Todd, we'll go into some more detail on training and even some of the programs and stuff he has to offer. But if you want to check out Todd, where can they follow along with you and check out the programs?
So the website, I haven't changed the URL. The website is still humanpredatorpackmule.com. And then Instagram is Pack Mule Training Co. And then my personal is just at Todd Bumgardner. I think there's an underscore in there too. So
Yeah, you search it, and I'll put links in the episode here so you guys can find it nice and easy. But Todd has become a good friend of mine throughout the years, and has trained me, and I have full confidence in what he does, and gives me confidence when I get out there that I can go on any hunt and not feel like I'm gonna die. It's always gonna be hard, but at least I'm not dying.
that's like one of the best compliments I get is like, you know, one of our guys that lives in Nevada, he was out on an elk hunt this past fall, and the elk were down low, and they would have to drop down this steep side to get to them. And they're down there pretty far. I don't remember how much elevation they'd have to lose, but he was with his buddy, and his buddy's like, I can't go down there and get back up. And he looked at it and he was like, well, I can. And so he went and did it by himself, killed his elk, packed the whole thing back uphill by himself, and just knowing that folks have the confidence to go wherever they need to be successful and also enjoy themselves while they do it, man. That's why I do this thing. So
Yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate it, and also appreciate all of you that are listening / watching.
absolutely.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with your buddies. Leave us a rating, a review, and subscribe. If you want to check out more content like this, there's plenty in the links below. We truly appreciate having you guys along with us.